Hello and welcome in a new episode of Fleet Europe's 10 Minutes video podcast. Today my guest is Adam Longenecker. He is the Strategic Sourcing Lead EMEA at Zimmer Biomet and also the winner of the European Fleet Procurement Manager of the Year award. Adam, welcome. I hope that you are doing well.
Yeah, hi, Stephen. Yeah, I'm doing well, thanks.
Very good to see you. Let's talk procurement, a discipline since years instrumental in corporate fleet and probably even more so in the current context with supply chain issues, high inflation and surging energy prices. So I would like to start with a simple question. What are for you the key elements of a good procurement strategy in fleet?
Yeah, well, I'd say the starting point of a good fleet procurement strategy, it's to understand what requirements your company has, maybe what's the priority of the top management. Fundamentally, what role does fleet play in your company? Is it used to service customers, or is it there as a benefit, part of the compensation of the drivers, or maybe both? You also need to deeply understand the internal makeup locally. So do they have fleet know-how already? Do they have resources to implement your strategy? So these are some key questions. Maybe they want to streamline the local processes, and that's the priority. But once you have these questions answered, then I'd expect to see a well-defined mix of suppliers and services. And if you can consolidate, that's always better, I think. You could consolidate the leasing suppliers on an international basis. This is one take, or you could drive your volumes to preferred OEMs. That's a classic. The first priority could be to get the fixed contractual costs under control, but then I think a good strategy also addresses the variable behavior-based topics as well. But really, in any case, to have a good implementation and change management, you need clear baseline data, a good, clear policy document, and strong support from your senior leadership.
Okay. Adam, what is the biggest misconception about procurement in general and fleet procurement in particular?
I would say one observation of mine is maybe the suppliers haven't seen it from the procurement side, and naturally they would want to close the deal on a more short-term basis, maybe over a matter of weeks or a limited number of months. This does happen, but I think that procurement generally, indirect procurement, is working in longer timeframes. Could be that a certain cost subcategory is not on the agenda this year, or we don't plan to address it until second half of next year. So that's important to understand. In fleet management, I think that sometimes there's a mismatch between what senior leadership expect when it comes to the savings schedule. We're replacing roughly a quarter of the fleet each year. And so the savings will trickle in at first, but then they'll be sustained over multiple years. And it's good to manage expectations on this point.
Okay. Of course, we are living in uncertain times, also when it comes to certain fleet-related topics. How can procurement be used to tackle and handle the current challenging situation with vehicle delivery issues, increasing fuel and energy prices, and inflation?
Well, yeah, some market conditions are more challenging than others. The one that I find the most challenging are the delivery lead times, right? And so I think a key element is communication with the local stakeholders who are ordering the vehicles. So we know 3-4 years in advance when our cars are going to be expiring. So procurement can inform the local management and drivers of these long lead times so that they're ordering well out ahead to make sure that we get the right cars at the right moment.
Okay, so it's also about anticipating, if I understand you correctly. Now, a new trend, also since some years in our community, in our industry, is of course the emergence of technology. You are in procurement since many years. What is to say about the impact of technology on fleet procurement?
Yeah. I would say that this is important in topic of TCO visibility. This is an important one in fleet procurement. And the technologies that are rolled out on the road are really changing things. You know, we have plug-in hybrids or fully electric vehicles. We could forecast, we could simulate what the fuel consumption cost would be according to theoretical measures in the past, but now this gets much more complex. And so I find myself leaning more on specialist platforms and technology just to get that basic total cost of ownership overview, to know what does it cost to what I'm driving now, and also what's on the market.
And what's your take on strategic procurement and the evolution from reactive to proactive procurement?
Yeah, good question. You know, I think it's very important to be proactive in car fleet procurement. You know, you'll do well to be able to provide suppliers with accurate order volume forecasts in advance. Every vehicle you order is going to be fixed in your books for roughly 4 years. So there's an imperative that you get it right from the beginning. This means ordering the right car. For this, you need to understand the TCO of your existing fleet, and you need to, as best as you can, understand the TCO of new configurations on the market, and when it can be delivered. So this requires a procurement infrastructure which needs a good deal of preparation and vigilance to maintain, but it'll pay out in dividends once you set that up.
Okay. Last year in November, you won the Fleet Procurement Manager of the Year award. How has your program at Zimmer Biomet evolved since then? And what's next on your to-do list?
Well, the main topic of evolution is to ensure that we can update our policy reference vehicles according to what is best in class from the market offering. And this is changing really pretty rapidly. It's required discussion with our leasing partners and refining our vehicle offering for each driver role. And we really want to ensure that we're rolling out electrified options for every country and every role where it makes sense.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time, Adam Longenecker, and to all the fleet managers in the audience. Why not become Adam's successor as the new European Fleet Procurement Manager of the Year? The competition for the Fleet Europe Awards is open, so go check out our website, fleeteurope.com, for all details. Thank you very much, and see you soon.